really delighted to be here today at iMinds for our third event on startups in the era of cloud. It's always an honor to be in a place that breathes and lives innovation and creativity with a little wicked Willy Wonka atmosphere also. And I must say, I'm really eager to find out what the speakers will learn us today. I'm also very happy to announce that iMinds and the Belgaug Labs user group are going to structurally work together, and that Jeroen de Rink, the CIO, or as he calls it, the director of turning things on and off again, is going to be a core member, and that in the future we will, in some form or another form, be organizing more events like this. But before I kick off the event, there's a few practical announcements that I would like to make. First, I'd like everybody to switch off the mobile phone, of course, or to mute it. If you want to Twitter, you can use hashtag Belgaug. And third, and this is for the people that follow online, everybody can ask questions after every speaker session, but for the people online, they can post their questions in the community of Belgaug. Just go to www.belgaug.org, and there you can find a link to our community. Then there was one last thing that I forgot, so it doesn't matter. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? We always start every event with a Google expert. And today, this is Edward Booten. Some say that Edward is an athletic, driven, young god of Google that is always surrounded with beautiful women from Google, and I guess that's true. And thus, he should always come here with a white helmet, a tinted screen, and a jumpsuit, a white jumpsuit, if you know what I mean. But I must say, Edward is just an excellent head of Google for Work at Luxembourg. Edward, please welcome and introduce us to the power of Google for Work.
Thank you for this great introduction. Oh, I need to take the mic. I have a very loud voice, so actually maybe you can hear me. Well, how about with the mic?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool. I like that. I like to walk around, so how does this work? Just can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Great. So thank you for this great introduction, Michael. And actually, it's the first time that I'm surrounded by beautiful women, and it's because I have the pleasure to announce you that Alexandra here is coming over, especially for you guys, for the next 3 months. She's on a rotation, and she will help Google Apps users to do their things, turning things on and off again, like you really say. Michael asked me to take 5 minutes to do a little introduction of what Google can do at work for startups. Okay, so I have only a few slides to cover here, and let me start with the first one. The first one is a very simple one. The world is digitizing. Everybody's talking about digital transformation. The number of tourism groups who go with Peter Hinsen to Mountain View and Barcelona, whatever, they all talk all the time about digital transformation. And that's true. And here are 3 examples of 3 industries which are being disrupted by digital transformation. Who knows Nest already? We launched this week, right? So that's the energy industry. It's being disrupted by a little company which is called Nest. And what they basically do is they have self-learning energy systems which you install in your house, and they will learn how you consume energy and decrease the cost of your energy by between 30 and 50%. Small company which started now is disrupting an industry. Same is true with Uber. Uber, you guys know Uber, right? If you wanted to do a taxi company 10 years ago, you would buy some cars and hire some drivers get them a phone and start driving around cars. These guys, in a few years' time, started with a taxi service by setting up a digital platform. They digitized the taxi industry. And they're worth a few billions of dollars. The last one I saw was like $17 billion. That's amazing. The third one is Airbnb. It's the same story. The hotel industry, which is a very traditional industry, is being disrupted. And the proof, of course, is that many legislations don't know how to handle this kind of new players. And so they are digitizing a whole industry, which is the hotel industry. So there are many examples of very small companies, startups. Those companies exist for 3, 4, 5 years, and they're worth a few billions of dollars. And so I think many of you work in startups, and many of you understand that in whatever industry you work, the digital transformation can change big time, and you can grow in a very fast way. And let me explain you a little bit more about that. This is, I think, a Gartner survey which kind of asks to all CIOs where innovation is coming from. And you see that almost all of them are going down. There's one which goes up, but that's not the most important one. The most important one is the others. It's the small companies around who have very innovative ideas, and the CIOs understand that although those are startups, they can be very reliable partners for their IT organizations. Thinking about companies like Awingu, here sitting in the room, it's a Belgian startup. If they use as a backbone some cloud platform, whether that's from Amazon or Google or Microsoft, it doesn't matter, they will have a very reliable platform. And so they are very good partners for CIOs. CIOs understand it, and they understand that those startups are going to bring the innovation into their companies. Next one. Now, all those guys who go with Peter Hinsen to California, they all understand one thing. Either they transform to the digital world, or they will face destruction by very small startups like yours. And so all those, everyone I talk to, they understand, whether it's a bank like Belgium and BNP Paribas and KBC, etc., they understand either they transform, or small banking companies like, well, small, maybe Apple Pay, and there's Google Wallet, and there's Amcash, and there's many other players can take over their business. So I have 3 messages for you. The first message is the following. If you want to be truly innovative, you need to collaborate, both inside your startup, but also outside. Innovation will come not only from the collaboration inside your startup, but also with your partners, with your suppliers, with your customers, etc. So that's one key important thing. If we look to Google, collaboration is the most important thing at Google for being able to do innovation. Any project which starts at Google, any idea is shared internally with other people, and then there's collaboration. People from Mountain View work with people from Japan and Europe on one virtual team. The second one is be the local Snapchat, and I'll explain that in a minute. And the third one is launch and iterate. So these are the kind of 3 messages that I would like to give to you, kind of learnings from what I've seen in the market today. So let me explain all 3 of them. So the first one is, if you start up your startup, you have a big advantage. You have a greenfield. You can start from 0. And so if I would do a startup, I would really do it very radically. And certainly if you look at work, it's clear that already today 27% work while traveling, 31 have remote sites, and 39 work from home. which is basically, if I were to do a startup, I would have great tools, like Ask for Work or Drive for Work, of course, and I wouldn't care about offices. I wouldn't care about where I do what, etc. Work anywhere and collaborate with anyone. Often I talk to partners here in the room and I say, guys, these may be your competitors. You better collaborate, grow the business, and then see what happens. The second one is be the local Snapchat. So Snapchat is a company, who knows Snapchat? Snapchat is a company which every day processes 500 million pictures every day. It's a company of 33 employees, and their value is $3 billion. They barely have a data center. They're an IT company. They're a digital company. They don't have a data center. Snapchat is, I think I can say so, Snapchat is one of the biggest Google customers. They started with a digital platform without a data center. And you know what? They don't care. They use the Google Cloud platform, and everything is handled by the Google Cloud platform. They don't care about IT. They never, I'm exaggerating, they never saw a server. It's not their core business. Their core business is to understand what the users want and translate it. And everything which is done behind is done by the Google Cloud platform. So I urge you to, and later on, I have here some presents for you guys. If you want to start some awesome idea, you don't know if it's going to work or not, don't start buying servers and buying infrastructure and networking. I have here some cards for you. It's a $500 starter credit. You just click, click, click. You go on the cloud platform and you start with your project. Many of you are already using it, and typically a startup can, for like 6 months you can do whatever you want. It's $500 because the cost of these platforms are, excuse the word, but they're ridiculously low. So my second advice is be the next Snapchat. Think big, but don't invest too much in infrastructure. And the third one is what we do a lot at Google is launch and iterate. Don't search for instant perfection. Make sure it's good enough, and then launch it and iterate it. So who had one of the first Android phones? So there's a few of them who had the first ones. They were crap. They were bad stuff. And we agreed on that. However, we launched it and we made it better every 4 months. That's the way Google works. And now 80% of the smartphones are running Android. So, the Apple way is also a great way. Apple is also a very, very successful company. They do it very different. But typically for startups, if you wait too long until you have the perfect product, then the time is too long and the user experience and the user demand may have changed in due time. So many traditional companies, what they do is they launch a project, they look at the requirements, and then they start provisioning hardware, infrastructure. They do all these waterfall analysis, and then 9 months later they come out with the product. And you know what? 9 months later, the user requirements have changed in this world. So what we do is we launch and we iterate and we make it better every time. And there's many examples of that. If you look at Google Apps for Business, which you guys know better than I do, that's the way we did it. We added functionality all the time and again. And only now we see real big companies, even governments, going towards Google Apps for Business. And we're just adding it. We added voice over IP proof on top of the product. We didn't have it from day one, but we will continue to improve this product. And the same happened with glass. If you look at the first glass that we made, it was basically a pair of normal glasses with the smartphone on it. And that one, you can see it here very clearly, that was the first prototype of Google Glass. We made it. We looked at the user experience. Okay, What do you want to see? How do you want to see it? Okay. And then we improved and improved and improved. Ship and iterate. So those were the three main kind of advices I wanted to give you to startups. I didn't want to do a product pitch because many of you know our products better than I do, and be very humble on that. But those are the three advices that I would give you to first collaborate. No innovation without collaboration. Secondly, be the next Snapchat. Think very big, but don't bother your time on infrastructure. And thirdly, shift and iterate. Launch and iterate.